I suppose I should cover this recent development. This is the last email I got from the California Democratic Party Progressive Caucus, which is in provisional status. They There's like a constant battle going on between these folks and leadership at the Democratic Party, and I'm sure everybody's got their various reasons for what they're doing. Let me see if, nope, it doesn't help putting the glasses on. Really small font, guys. Really small font. All right. Working with endorsed candidates is prohibited. I feel like there's probably some information being left out, right? Because I noticed that some of the endorsed candidates you listed are not actually in this state. But, okay. I feel like there's some information being left out. Like, this is not the whole story. But let's go through this. This morning, the Progressive Caucus received an email from the party strictly prohibiting our practice of promotion, participation, and public support of endorsed candidates. Any support tweet or email regarding a canvass, phone bank, or rally now purportedly requires party authorization because the caucus is a constituent part of the CDP. Well, I mean, it's kind of like when you piss off an employer and they ride your ass, right? They're upset with you, and they're going to look for every technicality to come after you at this point because you have pissed them off with your shenanigans. And you really didn't, as far as I could tell, you weren't doing much to comply with their remedies. I don't even know if you made an effort to comply with their remedies because you weren't reporting it, and you were supposed to be reporting to them on every 30 days. If you're reporting to them every 30 days, why weren't you sharing that information with your membership base? As our members and followers on our email list are aware, the caucus routinely supports candidates endorsed by Democratic Party institutions, as illustrated below from a previous email. Now let's get back to knocking doors and making calls to elect Democrats. Phone bank for Dave Jones for California State Senate. It doesn't, I'm assuming that's the candidate directly because you didn't put any. Phone bank for Aisha Wahib for California Senate. Working Families Party. That is a different political party. That's not the California Democratic State Party. And while you may do this in your own spare time, personal time, as a volunteer on your own, you cannot use the California Democratic Party resources and name to advertise an event that is an endorsed candidate for an opposition party, which, however aligned Working Families Party may be with the California Democratic Party, which they are for the most part, they are still not the California Democratic State Party. And so that's why I'm a little confused why you are constantly trying to spin what's happening here and demonize the people that you're using their resources and their tools to have the ability to communicate with as many people as you do. Because you are. You're using their resources and tools to communicate with your email list right now. But you're doing things like this, saying, well, let's advertise candidates from a different political party. Like, are you going to throw somebody on there who's from the Green Party? Friend bank for John Fetterman, Our Revolution. I'm fairly certain John Fetterman is actually an endorsed, like a Democratic endorsed candidate, because he's running against Dr. Oz in, is it Pennsylvania or is it New Jersey? I can't remember. But I don't think they necessarily have a problem with that one, but apparently you're doing it in coordination with Our Revolution. And one of the things that they told you as part of your remedies is that you could not coordinate with these outside groups to do things like that. They literally strictly told you that in the remedies, that you could no longer work with other PACs I mean, why didn't you just set it up yourself? Why are you relying on everybody else to set up the phone banking? Why didn't you just set it up yourself? All right. Call party to elect Mandela Barnes to Senate. Again, Working Families Party. Virtual phone banks to defend the Senate and House. Call into swing states: Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and California. CADEM. Okay, so that's the only thing you got listed on there that's actually CDP. That's California Democratic State Party. We do so because we know our members appreciate these opportunities and because the party does not advertise them. Look, your members, I'm sure, are involved in lots of different things. We all are. We're all involved in lots of different things. But that's not the purpose of what you're doing as a caucus for the California Democratic State Party. You have a very specific purpose, and you're trying to broadly restate what it is that you do as a caucus that is outside of the parameters of actually being a working caucus for the California Democratic State Party. I can't even with you guys. You're terrible. As an example, the party has done 0 events for endorsed candidates for Senator Dave Jones and Aisha Wahab, and has none on calendar. The party has, however, hosted events for corporate Democrats against progressives. A quick review of the party calendar does not appear to show any events for progressive corporate-free candidates. None. Really? None. Like statewide? You're talking statewide. They got none? Oh my God, even. California is the size of like half of the East Coast. We're huge. I find this interesting. Okay. Our response to this email has been the following. Number 1, we disagree with the party's interpretation of the bylaws prohibiting all support for endorsed candidates without party approval. Number 2, we have requested that the party host events for Dave Jones and Aisha Wahab as a start. Number 3, we have requested that the party authorize in-person Progressive Caucus events with endorsed candidates. Folks, I know for a fact that you were getting called many, many months ago and asked to highlight progressive candidates at your meetings. I know this for a fact that you were getting requests many, many months ago. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're not allowed. We want to do this now. Okay. Like literally people were trying to push for Shahib Buttar to speak at the meeting. And y'all like, no, we're kind of cool with Nancy Pelosi still having that seat. Right? You were. You totally were. All right. To be clear, it is only now, as ballots are about to be mailed, that the party has informed the caucus for the first time. For the first time, right? So you had all these months when you could have been doing these events and you totally didn't do them. That we may not work directly with endorsed candidates. For the rest of the campaign season, we encourage you now, as we did during our last Zoom meeting, to seek out progressive candidates in your area and across the nation to work with directly. You guys are so fucking lazy. I can't even. You're so goddamn lazy. I can't even. You're supposed to be the organizers. You're supposed to be the ones like saying this is where what we need to do. These are the people we need to recruit. These are the activities we like. You're literally waiting until October to fucking. I can't even with you guys. All right. As we have been clear in advocating for some time. Oh, really? You wanted how? What have you been advocating? You've been advocating nothing more than just tearing down party leadership. Like, you're literally doing nothing. The California Democratic Party does not represent the interests of the people of this state. It routinely operates to deliver dirty fossil fuel money to anti climate Democrats, turns a blind eye to Democrats endorsing anti choice, anti climate, anti democracy Republicans running against Democrats, and leadership refuses to put any resources into the legislation that our delegates vote to support. By the way, you said no, they're not doing any events. Any events for corporate free candidates. Are they are you trying to say that they're not doing anything for Katie Porter? She's a corporate free candidate. Are you saying they're doing nothing for Katie? Because I mean, I live right next to her district, and I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. All right. Wow. Turns a blind eye to Democrats endorsing anti-choice, anti-climate, anti-democracy Republicans running against Democrats, and leadership refuses to put any resources into the legislation that our delegates vote to support. This latest move is a continuation of the clear policy of the party to institute unitary authority with no real democratic voice for the people that live in the state, particularly in supporting corporate free, climate first, pro choice, anti bigotry candidates. I feel like you guys exaggerate a lot, and it's hard for us to actually organize around change in the party, like what actually needs to be changed. It's hard for us to get the support we need when you're being dishonest in your messaging. It's difficult for us to actually get allies when you're untrustworthy. As a caucus, we will continue to do everything we can to support progressive candidates and ensure transparency regarding the party's failures. We appreciate all your support and stand with you in this fight. Oh, Lord. I sincerely hope that we can clean house at the next election and get these people out, because this is some nonsense.